Hey, welcome to the Atlanta Dreamin' Pod. This is Joshua, ENFP Hoops, joined by Amber, AmbeeWrites, which
What's up?
on Twitter. I need to do that.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, um, so let's talk a little first. We are fairly sad, pretty sad, really sad. I don't know. It varies throughout the day, but the dream season's done. Um,
Hey.
e-
Moment of silence.
yeah, because before the series predictions, I told you I wasn't feeling confident with how we were playing, and things don't just magically change most of the time
True.
during the playoffs.
True.
It still sucks though,
Yes.
because. But anyway, before we go more into the dream,
Mm-hmm.
really exciting. So, um, we're going to be having players on over the next couple months, and our first one is going to be Kanisha Lockett out of Toledo.
Woohoo!
WNBA prospect to me, late first round, early second round, depending on who leaves. But really talented guard. Really excited to have her on. So
Yes.
please
Very
join us on
exciting.
Tuesday night for Wings vs. Aces.
Yes.
And yeah, hopefully we have some fun.
Super
But
exciting.
definitely. But let's talk about the playoffs first before we jump into overall regular season games. How did you feel about the overall playoff series? Ups, downs?
Well, the ups, of course, Ryan showing out in her very, very first playoff games.
Yeah.
And that's a sign of like true greatness, first off. That's a sign of true greatness. And then also it's like it gives me a little bit of hope for the future that by the time we flesh out this roster the way it's supposed to be and building around her properly, that she gonna do her big one and we gonna be champs
Oh,
real soon.
definitely.
Real soon. It kind of
So,
gives me the rumblings of like when Asia first got in the playoffs.
hmm.
Mm-hmm. Like not even like the play, it's just like you can see the greatness like
No,
instantaneously.
there was some greatness.
Mm-hmm.
She needed some help.
Yep.
Um,
She got a little bit.
she did.
She got a little bit. But when they flesh out the rest of the team, because like her number two, Alicia did her thing. Period.
No, Alicia did her thing too.
She
Alicia, yeah.
really did. But like everybody else,
And the ball it did that thing that we had all season. Like I said, if you're
mm-hmm.
developing habits over a long period of time, it's just going to not magically change when you get to the
Nope.
playoffs. And we were really electric in the first quarter of that game one. Like, that's how I felt we were and what I thought of us throughout the season and stuff. Like, it just felt like, unfortunately, a representation of the season. We
Mm-hmm.
were really good at times, but then
Mm-hmm.
it backed down. We pulled up a little bit in the third quarter, and then at the end just faltered and stuff. Like it felt a little like our season, but
Yep.
yeah.
It's unfortunate, but
And something else, I'm gonna try not to dwell on this too much because I know I did on the playback stream and I know I did after.
mm-hmm.
But a rookie plays all 40 games for you. And to me, played overall really solid. Like in the starts they had when D-Rob and Airy were out, we knocked off the Sun
Mm-hmm.
and Liberty on the road.
Did.
It really rubbed me the wrong way
Mm-hmm.
that she didn't get any time in the first playoff game, and then the second playoff game came in at absolute garbage time, and right when she came in, she got a bucket. Like
Literally.
that hurt my
Literally.
feelings. Second moment,
Mine too.
because I count that a moment, not Haley going in. Second moment, Ryan going 8 of 10 in the first quarter, and then she wasn't out for the second quarter in game one. Like, in the playoff, like, I understand regular season putting them on the bench, but when you're in the playoffs, 15 points is not enough after the first quarter and stuff. You want to establish yourselves as much as you can. Like sometimes
Mm-hmm.
players like Ryan play the whole 40 minutes and stuff. Like She was at
Yeah, that's
when
how
I
it's
looked
supposed
it
to
up on
go.
WNBA.com, she was at 43% usage and then went down to 20% in the second quarter. Correct me if I'm wrong, Amber, but all the teams that went on runs, if their star was going, you don't put them on the bench at all when it's the playoffs.
That is coaching 101. That's all I'm gonna
Okay.
say on that. That's 101. If she's hot, let her ride it until she's not. Because literally, when you in the playoffs, all the other this is literally do or die.
Yeah.
So sometimes you just gonna have to do and then die then. That's how you do it. This you condition for these times. You've been saving them for this moment. So why not let it ride until she got tired? At least you establish yourself enough to where okay, you see her get okay, pull her. Then but you have to give her a little bit of a break, but not too much of a break, because what players do, this is what superstars do, playing like a superstar. But she was even if she wasn't completely second out of it, but not playing in the second quarter was wild.
It was.
It was wild.
It was really wild. And really quick, going back to Ryan's dominance. So this isn't just people playing in their first two games. This is people doing two consecutive games in the playoffs period. She joined Diana Taurasi 2009 and Brianna Stewart 2020 to have back-to-back games of 20 points, 3 3-pointers, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 stops. Only 2 other people have done that in postseason history. So she did that in her first run in the first round. That's generational. We are going to see more. So
exactly. Literally her second year in the league, and none of the players that you mentioned did that in their first playoff series.
Definitely not.
Definitely that's third or fourth, or around their third or fourth year. I think Diana, that might have been her 5th or 6th year.
I think that was her 5th, yeah. And then Stewie came in 2016.
Yeah,
I want to say so. That was her 4th season. So yeah, yeah.
Just saying. Not everybody's doing that.
So now going back to the I don't want to dwell on the playoffs too much. We went over that. Ryan and Leash played really well. Cheyenne had moments. Not going too far into it, but we forced it. It just goes back to the ball sticking to me.
Yes.
And then the people that did come in, there wasn't enough production to make a difference and everything. Even though we had a high quality bench and everything, we just did not get the production needed to win a series or a game in the series and everything. So,
and also they weren't given a chance either. Some of them, because I would have liked to see AD more. I would have liked to see Haley more. It did not happen. So it was rough. It was really rough. I'm not
going to the season though. I'm sorry. Anybody, I am not going after one person within Dream Media or covering or people on the TL, but I understand the Dream can upgrade at certain positions, but it's one thing. So it's one thing if we don't make the Leash trade and then we make the playoffs and we go out in the first round like we did. It would have been expected. It would have fit the trajectory. But we made a trade before the season that involved trading our first round picks, which we got again, and making another trade with Tip for what ended up being Haley Jones. But you don't make a trade for Leash and expect to go out without winning a playoff game in the first round. At one point, going back, we were 10-4. I'm sorry, 10-3 over a 13-game period, including a 7-game winning streak, including wins over Connecticut and New York. There was potential on the season. We were playing at a really high level. And
every single night.
Especially after the All-Star break, it just the ball started
Fell
sticking more and
apart.
everything. Players were trying to contribute by themselves instead of having flow in the game and stuff. So to me, this team was more talented than being a sub 500 team and not winning a playoff game and not coming close in the second one and everything. Like, man, it still stings. Like, I know we're going to upgrade this roster. We're going to have cap space. We're going to be a more lucrative team to go with. But I know this team as a whole was better, even outside the Nia Coffey injury, which sucked. I hope she recovers well, whether she ends up with Atlanta or not. Wish the best for her because she balled out this season. Like, man.
Yes.
But, yeah. But just, it's just frustrating to think about things that could have been. What do you think about reflecting on the season and everything as a whole?
There were a lot of moments where I was like, yo, this team could really like surprise some people come playoff time. And then for a stretch, it was like, who are these? Like, what is this team? Because like it was so Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. Like it was very up and down.
Yeah, it was.
It was a lot of like great moments, but a lot of ugly moments. And a lot of those ugly moments could have been curbed, I feel like. But it's like, for me, there's a lot of promise. There's a lot of promise.
A lot
and
of promise.
I want to focus on that. Mainly Brandy and Haley, especially like out of the younger players, like I feel like Ryan and Haley in particular are the ones I would like literally like start to build around. I would do it now. That's just me personally. But like overall, like even with like little, because like some people, there's gaps in all types of stuff going on with this roster. It's a little top heavy. A lot of players have the same skill set. It needs to be balanced a lot more. I totally agree with that. But
backup 2s and 3s are essential, and then giving Cheyenne a star in the front court. I agree with all those things. All I was saying is we were talented enough to make some damage this season, but are there ways for us to grow? Are we a super team right now with who we have on the roster? No. But, man.
But, like, literally, that's when, like, even with all those gaps or, like, the roster construction not being great, I still feel like we could have achieved more even with that. Because, like, it's too much talent. You have, like, you're spoiled with talent, but you're not, like, pulling it together and making, like, it's not one band, one sound. To reference Drumline. Like, it's not one band, one sound. It's like one band over here, another one over there. Like, it was no cohesion when it needed to be. But, I mean, they're a young team. They'll figure it out. But it's just like, from the top down, there has to be changes. A lot of changes.
I would agree. And I'm not gonna go through it this episode because I want to give us time to reflect on the season but eventually I want to go over like players that we want to retain going into the next season, and then players we want to go after, types of players we want to draft. Because there's going to be a difference to me in positions we draft for and players I want an established bet, positions I want to establish bet for. So I'll be curious to hear your thoughts on that and everything. But let's just gut reactions the day after we're eliminated. What do you give as the overall grade for the season to you? The 2023 season, what grade do you give?
This might be a little high, but I'm going to say a B-.
Okay, we're right around the same. I have them at a C+.
Yeah, because like they literally did come in and accomplish what they set out to do, but I feel like they could have like literally probably won a playoff series. If that had happened, that would be more like, okay, we're right on track where we need to be. Because, like, honestly, with the moves that they made, it really shouldn't be surprising that any of us expected for them to, like, win a playoff series. We had them going, like, we had them having home court advantage at the beginning of the season, and they weren't that far off. Like, they really weren't.
We
But
at
it's still
points we were
like,
close to third. Like there
yeah.
was that 10-3 stretch I talked about. We played back-to-back games with Connecticut, and yeah, we lost
Not us
both. And
getting
I see the
trolled.
comments too, but
Not us getting
but
trolled.
but there
This
was
is
a
not
point where
about
we
them,
could have
you know?
gone within a half game of Connecticut if we had won those back-to-back games, and we lost both, unfortunately, and then
True.
the season
True.
went where it went from there. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, for me, I went over this a little earlier, but if we had not made the lease trade and we did what we did now, and like we made the playoffs, but we weren't very competitive, I would have given us a B plus.
Mm-hmm.
But we made the lease trade.
Yep.
That jump, like
That's the
that,
litmus
fast
test.
forwarded what I expected, and I went over this before the playoff series too. The episode before we did the playoffs, I still felt like this season being a success depended on if we could get back to Atlanta and play a competitive game in Game 3. To
Mm-hmm.
me, that prevented us from being in the Bs
Mm-hmm.
because especially Game 2, we were never like in
Yeah,
the
we were
first
never in that
couple
game.
of spurts, but I was feeling like it was going to go a direction that I wanted it to go. So
It went straight to hell. It did. It's unfortunate, but it did.
and
It
Lakin,
hurt.
I'm not going to go too much into this, but yes, I would not mind a certain player on the Mystics coming over. So Amber would.
He want me stressed out. No, listen, I'm not. I can't do this with you. First off, you see how bad you be stressed out, Lakin. You want me to be that stressed out? I think y'all really like to hear me cuss. I really think y'all like to see me in turmoil and just saying whatever comes to mind and just being in the moment. Like, I really feel like y'all just like to hear me cuss. No explanation why y'all want to stress me out this bad. But I mean, if it happens, it happens. I wasn't mad.
Especially Game 1. I knew something was wrong with like my facial expressions and everything when people were telling me to breathe and asking if I was okay and stuff. Because usually I'm getting trolled the whole time and everything, and people were concerned. Game 2, I wasn't as stressed, unfortunately, because the game wasn't that close for too long and everything. You could tell the direction it was going. But Game 1, I got to feel a little bit of the playoffs. I got to feel the joy, the sadness, feeling like you could win a game at the end and stuff, and like, it was a lot of fun, and I don't want it to be over yet, but I'm hungry for next season and seeing what we're going to do. And again, I'm resisting making gut reactions over what we want. We went over positions a little and everything, so
I know it's stressful. It's stressful. Playoff basketball is generally like a stressful time, but like it was such a good stress though. It's been like 5 years since we've even been in the playoffs, so it felt good to be there again, and for my star player, my favorite, to go out there and do well. That was great. But like, overall this season has been like and I'm like, I really want to just like it was rough in places, but it's like still at the same time, I mean, they did well in a
they
lot
did.
of
We did make the playoffs when at times that was a little bit in doubt. Like we did get to experience playoff basketball, so I know. I'll feel more thankful as the season goes along more and everything. So it just still sucks that it's over. So
yeah, it is.
Really,
it's okay.
Going a different direction though, like just going to next season. Aaron, you brought this up earlier, but I think especially with the Olympics and everything, I would rather have a shorter regular season and then have a longer playoffs, like maybe go to best of 5 series the whole time and have a shorter regular season, especially with the playoffs coming and everything. I don't know. Like, how many games do you think we're going to have next year? Because that has not been officially announced.
Listen, if they were smart, which I really feel like if I really feel like it was kind of weird to bump it up to 40, right? Like the year before the Olympic cycle started again,
Me
because
too.
like you gotta like find all this time, like time that you don't have really. You don't really have time to like really play a full 40 games anyway in your own arenas, for one thing. Then two, you're gonna like extend it out probably only like another 2 weeks, because everybody's gonna be going to the Olympics in their respective countries, or whoever makes it over. It's gonna be a gap. It's gonna be a gap in play. So I feel like it's really gonna be a lot of players that are gonna run, like the injuries are probably gonna be worse than ever. Unfortunately, I
Condensed
don't want to.
schedule, yeah. Yeah.
Condensed schedules are always like, it might be
Terrible.
wobble season all over again. I don't think it's a good idea. It, I feel like they should go back to maybe even like at least, even if you, I mean, even
35?
maybe the 34. Like
Okay.
they did 30-40 for the longest, but like honestly, if they were to do that between 34 and 36, you know what? Like this next year, I really don't feel like a longer playoff series would be smart at this time. At this point, maybe the next year, 2025, but 2024 is gonna be, is you're gonna run the risk of like injuring a lot of people, and we already have those
That's my
injury
concern too.
concerns too. Yeah, it's just too
And
much
like,
in too little time.
it doesn't look good to go to lower games, like from people looking
It
on the
doesn't.
outside and everything. I
Yeah,
hate
it
it.
doesn't. Hmm.
That I don't know. I agree with you. I think it would have been better to do the 40 games after the Olympics. I understand
Hmm.
CBA coming soon where they can extend it or not, but
Hmm.
the reason why I brought up 5 games though, extending the playoffs and not the regular season, I don't know. This is
Hmm.
biasness as a Dream fan probably,
Hmm.
but it sucks to make the playoffs
And not have a
and
home
you
playoff
don't
game.
get a home game. And it's a
Yeah.
multiple, like I can understand single elimination, you
Hmm.
don't get it. It goes to
Yeah.
the better teams. But when you're playing even a best of three, you get
Hmm.
them charter flights and you go back and forth. Like you put like, because there was long enough breaks for teams to travel back and forth. Like the first game was on was on Wednesday, like on a Wednesday, and then the next one was on a Sunday. That is
Yep.
plenty of time to travel, have a rest day, practice, and everybody
Hmm.
be refreshed and ready to go. Like it would have been realistic for all the series this year
Hmm.
to, yeah. I don't know. It just sucked that we did not get playoff basketball in Atlanta. I think that would have been a difference. I understand that's traveling a lot. I understand I'm being a little biased, but that's just my
Hmm.
opinion. You make the playoffs, you should be able to celebrate with your fans, and maybe that gives us a different energy than we would have had playing in Dallas, both games and
Hmm.
stuff. So I get you,
True.
Aces fans. I get you, but
See, there you go again. His opinions are not reflected over here. Just remember that. My opinions are my own.
oh,
His opinions are his own. I love the Aces. Go Aces
I
all
do
the way.
too.
I'll get.
I
Yeah,
know.
I know.
I'm just picking
But
fun,
he loves.
but they
Yeah,
don't want
we
me
having
picking
fun
them. The Aces fans don't want me picking them because I'm a
because you are
jinx.
a jinx.
Jinx.
You putting it in quotes like it's not for real. Like literally, the time that I use, because I use my time from last time that I won the 15 minutes. I used part of it, even though he said I used all of it. I
I
used
will give
part
you
of
10
it
minutes of it back. So 10 minutes of
because
it back.
I
Because I
told
definitely did. I
you
did 5.
exactly, and I told you, hey, you can. But he didn't want to listen, so he got to give
So
me 10
let's
minutes back.
let's go through these teams. So if the Aces fans do not want to take me on,
Listen, Josh, hold on,
okay.
because I gotta let them know why I know you're a jinx. First off, let's finish the thought real quick. So I use part of those minutes. If you have not watched playback, watch playback with us sometimes. You'll get a lot of little nuggets. So I use some of my minutes because at the end of the Mystics versus Liberty game, I'm like, this is really close. He was getting too excited. I said, all right, mute challenge. We have to do the mute challenge right now because you're about to piss this game away. for the Mystics. And the whole time, the whole time that he was silent, the Mystics were up. That's all I'm going to say.
But it went to overtime when I was silent.
Listen, my plan still worked. And remember, you did have an outburst.
But it went fine.
You did have an outburst. But you had...
I did not cause EDD to retire. Boo. Anyway, I refuse to say I'm a jinx, but going back to what the tangent I was going on. So the Aces fans do not want to take me.
They don't.
What are my choices?
They will take your wife. They will not take you.
Exactly.
Well, we know. Listen.
I am not cheering for the team. I like some players on the wings, but I don't like them overall as a team to be able to root for them to go far. Like, I want them out as fast as possible. So
I don't know why you want, for the sake of everybody, just root for somebody that we do not like so that they will lose and we will be happy. You will not do it for the greater good. And I feel like that is...
Because I'm not a jinx. Anyway.
You are.
I don't like I definitely don't like the Lynx. But if the Sun win, I could ride with them a little bit, especially against the Liberty. I could ride with them. But could I root for them in the finals? Be neutral?
Just be neutral. I don't want to see you get excited about nobody else.
Wow, but that's so rough because I'm such an excitable person. Like,
exactly,
when I'm watching these games, I want to...
You won't do it for the greater good. So, like...
Stop it! You're treating this like it's a real thing. It's not.
It is. Root for New York so we can be so smooth sailing if you do that. You can't do it for like 5 minutes.
No, I can't.
You can't even root for Lainey or Stewie.
I can't root for the Liberty. I can't.
Damn. I'm trying. I'm really trying, guys. He won't take my bait. He won't root for Marine either. He's like, yeah, I can see how she gets on everybody's nerves. Maybe she is on my list. Josh, not even Han. All the hell they drug Han through.
That's why I can't root for them. I can't root for them, Amber. It's against my morals to root for New York.
He did jinx the 40-point game. He sure did.
I felt so bad that she came out after I said that. I felt really sad. I can't root for the other stuff. It doesn't work like that, Aaron. So, all right, fine. I'm for the Sun. So, there we go. It's my team.
Damn.
I'm cheering for Chip again.
I guess.
Go AT. I do actually like Dewana Bonner a lot.
I mean, Dewana, yes, but the Autobot, I don't know. Friend.
I've liked Dejanay. I've liked Ty. I like their bench overall. Leah Brown got traded from us to them. I like Rebecca Allen.
Oh no.
Oh no, yep. She's been getting a little more playing time and stuff. Overall, get new morals. Get out of here. Anyway, leave Ty out of my mouth. Anyway, if I'm a Sun fan, Lakin, I'm going to be cheering for Ty. So, go Sun. There we go. Go Sun. Yikes. Since the Aces fans won't take me. So, because the Wings, Liberty, and Lynx are out. If the Lynx win, my gosh, I got choices to make. My gosh. Oh.
I'm gonna barf if they win.
Please, Sun, don't do it to us. Please take care of business.
Please.
Just please.
Yo. Yeah, really, just don't root for the Aces, please. Please. They have respectfully asked 1,000 times. Do not.
I'm not going to do it.
Okay. Thank God.
So I'm going to post a link to our playback, though, just for anybody who hasn't joined. We have a lot of fun.
We do. We have way too much fun. Honestly, that's like my favorite time of the day when we can go playback and just have a ball.
Because we are pure chaos, so yes. It's a lot of fun. And it's just, we get to watch games together.
Yes.
So
we bully Josh.
They do bully me. There's trivia. Sometimes it's
Where
ridiculous.
he
Sometimes
gets
it's
us back.
realistic.
Yes.
And,
That's
and
how he
no,
gets us back. His damn trivia. That's how
and
he
I
gets
am
us
not
back.
the stat daddy, so Steph just leave
That's.
that.
I was not gonna. You know what? I'm not even gonna touch it because I was literally about to like rain on your parade, but we're not gonna do it. We're not gonna do it because I was about to say something and I'm not gonna do it.
And Lakin is probably right. Unless you're a nice Liberty fan, maybe we can work with you. But chances are you won't have a good time with us if you're a Liberty fan,
Nah,
because we
just like that
throw a
Liberty
lot of
fan from
shade.
last night.
So
Just like that one I had to talk to on Twitter last night.
I didn't see any of that. I stayed, unfortunately, completely away from the TL after last night's events with the Dream.
That joke was too funny. Listen. This is for anybody who thinks that you just say whatever you want to me. Like, it's fine. It's fine. Go ahead. Have a ball. But like, honestly, if I'm bored, like I'm going to like, because I know you're not smarter than me. you're not gonna get me. And I do what I want on my page. Just to let you know. I do what I want, and I'm always gonna win.
Last thing I want to end on, because this just happened a couple hours ago that was announced.
Mm-hmm.
Who will be the Chicago Sky coach? GMs I don't know enough about to give my own thing or anything, but who will be the Chicago Sky coach? That's my pick too.
Yep.
I want it to be Teaspoon as well.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I would love for it to be Teaspoon.
Oh, and by the way, anybody who showed up late, because I did it right at the beginning and probably did it too early. But the player joining us is Kanisha Lockett from Toledo. She will be joining us on Tuesday. I've seen her post about the Aces on her IG before, so she is probably an Aces fan.
She's going to fit right in.
So she'll probably fit in.
Absolutely.
So, that was, you literally just put that. That was you. Anyway, I shouldn't have done it right at the beginning, but, But amazing player at Toledo. I have her late first round, second round, if depending on like what players come out, but she can ball. She's a shooting guard, just plays a intense defense, incredible drives to the hoop, can sometimes go off from three. Like, man, I just love her game, and I'm excited to have her on. So be sure to tune in with us late. She is going to be on only for the Aces Wings game. I'm sorry, I was struggling to say them because I'm still hurt. But they will be on for Tuesday night, late night hoops. It will be on at 10 p.m. your time, Amber. That is really late.
Listen.
Oh, of course you can ask her questions.
Miss the first game, if I got to miss the first game in order to make it to the second game, it is what it is.
Because the first game, Amber, best case scenario is Sun versus Liberty. Worst case scenario got Lynx versus Liberty. So
yeah, I would miss that on purpose just because. Because like who? Never mind. I'm not gonna say that. Anyway, yeah, I'd rather watch the Aces.
If her favorite player is Candace, I will fight for her to go first round, and I hope it is.
Like period. Listen. If it's Candace or Asia, listen, perfect.
So, but that should be a lot of fun. And then we will have another player further in the playoffs as well for the final. So we will let you know when that is official, when we have that. But this will be a recurring theme every now and then that we have someone to join in on the fun with us. So
yes,
hope you all enjoy it.
Yes.
But yeah, I think we're going to have a shorter episode. I didn't want to go too much into the Dream because we're going to be doing breakdown. Unfortunately, we have a lot of time to discuss what we want for the future and everything. But overall, like Mr. K said, we did make the playoffs. That was the initial goal. We did do it. We had some really bright spots. There are things that we could be really excited about, especially Ryan. Leash coming over was definitely worth it. She was definitely worth those 2 first-round picks. Like,
absolutely.
No hesitations or regrets on that at all. We had 3 people go to the All-Star game, which was a lot of fun.
Yes.
Like,
absolutely.
You can't be too mad on just looking back. So,
yep. We'll be fine.
It's just I know we can be more, and it's just taking the next step. Exactly. And in an athletic pool, like people said they wanted to come here. Like we were a desirable place. Like we have some fun things around us.
Yep.
Like we really do care about the dream here. And I want us to show it to anybody in control of these decisions that's listening. If you are, we need to see upgrades in the locker room, and we need a bigger arena.
Yes.
Show you're serious. Show you're serious about this team.
Exactly.
Doesn't have to be our own arena yet. You know, put us at like Georgia Tech again.
At least until
maybe
y'all
you
can
pull
get us
off
some
getting.
bigger.
Hold on, it's not Phillips Center. It's
State
Farm. State Farm. There we go. I'm sorry, I went way back. But
please don't get him on the Hawks. We're not gonna start this. But anyway, yeah. Because this is the thing. If you gonna support Atlanta sports, support all Atlanta sports. We don't want to hear you. Listen, you're with us now. You cannot bash other Atlanta teams that's not gonna vote well. So
another Atlanta team I'm gonna cheer for. So they started a professional volleyball league. Okay. And the Atlanta Vibe are a team. So I will root for them. Kelsey, who was PR for the Dream before, has moved over there and stuff. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. And somebody who's on the Vibe is actually going to be an Athletes Unlimited that we're going to be watching starting in October. So that'll be fun. So there we go. I'll have another Atlanta team. I mean, but I'm sorry. Like the Hawks I focus on the women's sports. I've watched hockey for a long time, college football for a long time. I'm just, yeah. I love the nickname for the Mr. K, the Vibe, because that fits me. Like, I'm a vibe. Anyway.
Josh. Listen, I know that's right, Fred. You stand in it. Stand in it.
Bad vibes. Get out of here. Anyway. And no, I don't want to do a bet to wear a Trey jersey. Anyway. Where was he in the playoffs? Because someone, I forget who, I think it was you, Mr. K, that said that Trey was in Oklahoma City? And he's going to go down to okay, so how far away is Dallas? How far away is Dallas for him to come?
He wanted to come to a home playoff game, and they did not make it.
But his state borders the one that they were in.
Stop going after Trey. Trey is a avid supporter.
I'm not being serious, by the way. I'm not being serious, by the way.
Because listen, real Atlanta fans, we are fans of the whole city. It don't matter which sport. Mostly baseball, basketball, but like you can't. We not gonna do Trey. We not gonna do Trey. Okay. All right. Thank you very much, friend. You seen Trey over here? Oh yeah, they're gonna find you and they're going to rip you to shreds.
That's fine. I don't care.
Yes.
But
and he was about to cuss out Dirk for being there and being on.
Okay, so let me go back to that. No. Hold on. No, we're not. Hold on. Okay, so I don't have anything against Dirk personally. What bugged me, first of all, it's a playoff game.
I understand.
It's a playoff game. We already have to deal with the coaches taking up part of the screen at the beginning of quarters.
I understand.
Blake can get out of here. But they put him on, like they could have interviewed him between quarters. They could have interviewed him during halftime. But they chose to do it during a playoff game. I would not have complained as much.
Yes, you were.
And yes, I'm sure I wouldn't have complained as much. And I'm sure there were some influential people there that they could have focused on instead that were at the game.
I am sure.
And we did not focus on them. I'm sure Dirk is a wonderful person. Like everybody in the chat was saying he's a good person. I believe it.
He is. He's a great guy.
But I just did not want, the biggest thing that bugged me was that he was taking, like they were making him half the screen during a WNBA playoff game.
But honestly, that is on ESPN. That is not on Dirk Nowitzki.
I know. So that's why I just wanted to go through that rant and say it's not against Dirk specifically. It would have been anybody on that screen. Unless I really liked them as if they were a W influencer, I would forgive it a little more. But they went with, and his wife is gorgeous, and they look like an adorable couple when you show the picture.
They are.
So yes,
they are very adorable.
It did lower my wrath a little bit when I saw that, but it still made me frustrated that they took up, like, it was time when they weren't talking about the game too. It's just, but it's okay.
All right. All I'm gonna say is like the whole, like, the The Mavericks were in the building, and they're also the team that Christy Toliver works for. Grant Williams was also there. Jason Kidd was also there.
Hold on.
What?
Where do you see Christy being because she's going to be a coach. She's just flat out going to be a coach. I hope she chooses to be in the W and doesn't stay in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
Where would you want her to go?
Ooh.
Lincoln says Mystics. I could see that.
I honestly could see that too, because I feel like
that whole that's the area she's from. She's from Maryland. Maryland?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I would love to see her take over DC. I would love it. I feel like it would fit her vibe the most, and they already.
Oh, she talked about them too. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. So
that would be really dope.
I am pro KT. I love how she interacts with people. Like I've liked her as long as I've been a W fan. You seem to like her too, and you've been a fan longer.
Mm-hmm.
So
yes.
Yeah. Whew.
But yeah.
As always, we go on tangents and stuff. I love it.
Yes.
But we will be on.
Because he likes to argue.
The argument sometimes comes to me. I sometimes don't initiate it. Sometimes it comes to me, and I gotta, I gotta defend myself.
All right,
but anyway, I had a good time with y'all. I will see you on Playback for anybody that can make it. And go Sun.
Pull up.
All right, pull up. Bye.
I guess.